Hello, Malmesbury. I'm Campbell Ritchie, and I'm Mayor of Malmesbury this year. I'd like to welcome you to our virtual St Aldhelms Day event. We've been celebrating St Aldhelms Day since 1086, the year the Normans made him a saint, and this year is no different. We might not be able to meet physically close this year, but we don't have to be socially distant. Aldhelm is a hero of mine. He lived in Malmesbury in the 600s AD. He was the child of pagans who led the church in the west of England, forged a community here in Malmesbury, advised kings, was the leading person of letters in Britain. He wrote books and riddles and songs, and of course, he performed miracles. And if you want to know more about those, join Tony's live Zoom talk on Aldhelm and Malmesbury at 4 p.m. Every year we invite the community to come together in the name of this world-famous Malmesburian and celebrate the history of our beautiful town. Today we're marking St Aldhelms Day, as usual, with arts and crafts, traditional music, Morris dancing and history, and we'll be doing all this with all the usual celebration, but virtually. We can't see each other at most of the events or have a go at shooting longbow this year, but using video and Zoom and Malmesbury Community Radio, we can have a go at making up riddles, doing some crafts, trying some Morris dancing, learning more about the history and influence of Malmesbury, and even meet TV celebrity archaeologist Phil Harding. Before we get going, there's a few people I need to thank for making this event possible, and they are Councillor Fran Vandelli and her team of councillors, Kim, Catherine, Paul and Keris, our town council staff, the team at the Abbey, Malmesbury Community Radio, Lisa Tweedy for technical support, Leslie Wood for design, and of course, all of our fantastic contributors. So on to the action. Joining me as hosts through the day will be Councillors Kim Power and Catherine Doody, who will read some riddles with me, and Councillor Paul Smith and Caris Hardwick, who will join in linking up the different events that we have. Now, without any further delay, I'd like to introduce local musician Catherine Burke, who will start us off with some traditional English music, and then local artist Philip Kingsbury will tell us something about the artwork and puzzles he's made for everyone to enjoy.
Hello everyone, this is Ernie, this is Basil, I'm Catherine, and this is Philip. Hello. That was a medieval tune called Greensleeves, and St Aldhelm was around in medieval days. That was a really long time ago, around the year 400. Philip Kingsbury is an artist and he draws lots of pictures and does lino cuts of our lovely town of Malmesbury. And for St Aldhelm's Day, he has turned some of them into dot-to-dots, and he's made a spot the difference, and he's made some available for you to print out and colour in. So if you ask your mum and dad for help, if you need to, or maybe you know how to do it already, you could download the images, print them out, and have fun colouring them in and making the pictures. Basil, do you like colouring in?
Yeah.
Do you like painting?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great news. You could do some of the colouring in on one of Daddy's sheets that he's made for everybody to use. Would that be fun?
Yeah.
Brilliant. St Aldhelm was around in medieval days. That was a really long time ago. And we'll say bye-bye in a minute.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
We've got a song for you, which is I Went to Market to Buy a Cock. And it's from the nursery rhyme and CD that we made. It's not as old as medieval, but it's from 1600, which is quite a long time ago. It's one of the oldest songs that I know. I hope you enjoy it, everybody. We'll leave you with it now. Now's the time to say bye-bye. Ready? Bye-bye! I went to market to buy a cock. The cock did very well please me. And every time I fed my cock, I fed him all under a tree. And the cock went cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo.
and after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
I went to market to buy a cow. The cow did very well please me.
And every time I fed my cow, I fed him all under a tree.
And the cow went moo, the cock went
cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo. And after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
I went to market to buy a sheep. The sheep did very well please me.
And every time I fed my sheep, I fed him all under a tree.
And the sheep went back, the cow went moo, the cock went
cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo. And after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
I went to market to buy a pig. The pig did very well please me.
And every time I fed my pig, I fed him all under a tree.
And the pig went oink, the sheep went back, the cow went moo, the cock went
cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo. And after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
I went to market to buy a horse. The horse did very well please me.
And every time I fed my horse, I fed him all under a tree.
And the horse went neigh, the pig went oink, the sheep went back, the cow went moo, the cock went
cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo. And after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
I went to market to buy a duck. The duck did very well please me.
And every time I fed my duck, I fed him all under a tree.
And the duck went quack, the horse went neigh, the pig went oink, the sheep went back, the cow went moo, the cock went
cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo. And after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
I went to market to buy a dog. The dog did very well please me.
And every time I fed my dog, I fed him all under a tree.
And the dog went woof, the duck went quack, the horse went neigh, the pig went oink, the sheep went back, the cow went moo, the cock went
cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo. And after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
I went to market to buy a cat. The cat did very well please me.
And every time I fed my cat, I fed him all under a tree.
And the cat went meow, the dog went woof, the duck went quack, the horse went neigh, the pig went oink, the sheep went back, the cow went moo, the cock went
cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-cock-a-doodle-doo. And after every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
Yes,
After every farmer's cock did my cock crow.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Thank you, Catherine. That was lovely. If you feel inspired by Catherine's music, there are lots of opportunities to get involved in playing music and singing in Malmesbury. You can start by contacting the Long Players through their Facebook page. Thank you also to Philip for the excellent artwork he shared, and I hope that you're enjoying finding the differences. Now, we promised you some riddles, and this is because Aldhelm was known for his very difficult riddles. He lived during the Saxon period and was a monk at Malmesbury Abbey. He became abbot of the abbey in 683 AD, and he made Malmesbury famous as a place of learning and writing and riddles around the world. To be honest, St Aldhelm is one of my heroes. He's a great Malmesburian, and he's had a huge influence on the history and development of Malmesbury. He was made a saint by the Normans in 1086. But really, Aldhelm was a Saxon. His name meant old helmet, and he lived in Malmesbury over 1400 years ago, in the 600s. He was a man of many, many talents. He was a great writer. He was a great leader, a great organizer, a great influencer. And he had a fantastic love of words and letters and riddles. This is a picture of Aldhelm that was produced after his death, but Maybe that's as good as image as we're going to get of what the man looked like. And here's a picture of his book of riddles. And all the time he liked playing with language. So even here on the left-hand page, the first page of his riddle book, there's an acrostic at the start and the end of each sentence. He's taken the first and last letters of each sentence and turning that into a new sentence. And what he actually says is that it says Aldhelm has sung songs in thousands of verses. And he was using riddles to communicate, to have fun, to involve people, and to help educate. And let's have a go at one of them, because there are three of his riddles here on the right-hand page. Let's have a look at one of those and see how it works. No one can hold me in his palms or sight. I scatter sudden clatter far and wide. I want to hammer oaks with mournful might. Yes, I strike sky and scour countryside. So what's the answer to his riddle? Well, the answer for this one is the wind. But what about you? Can you write a riddle? We would love it if you could send us your riddle to tic@malmesbury.gov.uk. You can video yourself telling us your riddle, or you can email it to us. Just tell us your name and your age group. There's 3 categories: under 11s, 12 to 16, and over 16. So send us your original riddle. We have prizes for the best riddles in each age group: under 11s, 11 to 16-year-old, and over 16s. So send us your riddle today. Don't worry if you didn't have time to write any of this down. The information is all on our website at www.malmesbury.gov.uk. Now here's a riddle to get you thinking. It's one written by Aldhelm in the 600s. Let's see if you can guess what it is. He's giving us clues to try and work out what it is. I share now with the surf one destiny, in rolling cycles when each month repeats. As beauty in my brilliant form retreats, so too the surges fade in cresting sea. Now, I'm sorry that's not in the original Saxon, but perhaps it might make it easier to guess what it is that it's not. The answer is the moon. Here's my colleague, Councillor Kim Power, to read more riddles for you.
Hello, I'm Kim Power, and I've got a couple of fun riddles to share with you today. Here goes number 1. In days of yore, I was a monk at Malmesbury Abbey, and I made myself some wings. I'm remembered today because I tried to fly. Well, I did go a little way, and I did get the first recorded flight in England, but I broke both of my legs, so please don't try this at home. Who am I? And here is riddle number 2. I saw the eye of the tiger whilst pouring beer. Silly me for taunting without due fear. Who am I? Can you guess these riddles?
Here's my riddle. I am round and flat. I have a middle but no end. And I am not 3D. What am I? I have claws. I am a cat. I live in the wild.
What?
My name is Catherine Doody. I have two riddles that I want to read to you. And the first one is quite topical, okay. I have a very special case, a role in any household place, where people eat and drink or chat. Just put on holders in my place. And there I hang in ready form, waiting to be tugged or torn, to clear the waste in any form. Until now it's been the case that puts me in the lower place, where other aids for teeth and face stand gloriously upon the shelf, whilst I hang down in hidden stealth for one brief moment, raised on high, and people fought for me to buy. So now I really know my place, and shine more brightly to the human race. The first riddle is by Eileen Grist. And the answer, of course, is the toilet roll. The next riddle is by Aldhelm, and he wrote 100 riddles in his life, all in Latin, but this has been translated, you'll be glad to hear. When God sees punished the vile abomination, and water cleansed our sins' contamination, I would fulfill first Father's proclamation, marking with fruit the start of earth's salvation. I always bear a heart thus that's serene, and stay a joyous bird without dark spleen. And the answer is the dove.
Thank you, Kim and Catherine, for those riddles. Don't forget to give us your name and age when you enter the competition. Now, a special treat.
Coming up next, we promised you a conversation with celebrity archaeologist Phil Harding from BBC's Time Team programme. Circumstances being different, he would have been here to answer questions in person. However, we're delighted that he has arranged to be here virtually today and answering some of the questions that we've sent to him about the Time Team, about his interest in prehistory, and of course some questions about Malmesbury. For this, we owe a huge thank you to Wessex Archaeology, Maddie Gilbert, and of course to Phil himself. And here he is.